You're listening to The Martin Houston Show on Tide 100.9 in Tuscaloosa.
Alabama 1st and 10 on the 12. Again, Houston. He's got a hole. He's over. Alabama touchdown.
I'm just wondering if your listeners know how good a football player you were. I can still see you playing that fullback, knocking those players out of the way. And I believe I could have run behind you.
Martin, I can remember when we came to summer and you were playing fullback up there, and I saw you in the weight room and watched you work out in the weight room. If you could you were strong enough to pick up the whole weight room. I wanted to fix it, and our running back coach didn't take the biggest mistake we ever made.
The Martin Houston Show with national championship winning fullback Martin Houston, giving you 1 hour of intense, hard-hitting analysis from an insider's perspective. It's time for the Martin Houston Show on your home for Alabama sports, Tide 100.9, and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
Welcome into the Martin Houston Show with Martin and Xavier on this free-for-all Friday, powered by the pharmacy at Midtown. Remember, we are brought to you also by Box Eye Care. As we get ready for this Friday edition, remember, it is the third Saturday in October. We'll look at grades for the team in 2024. We'll take a look at the Vols, look at the injury report, keys to victory, and blocking out the noise.
All right. And hey, don't forget, it's Friday and we've only got a few of your predictions. I forgot to announce we didn't have a winner for Vandy. When nobody picks the winning team, I don't pick a winner. And this week, we didn't have anybody really get close, but Bam Bam 72. Bam Bam 72 was our winner. So you can get in on the score prediction contest, the Alabama Legacy Collection, officially licensed gear, of course, Alabama Legacy score prediction contest. Go check out athletesthread.com/collections/Martin-Houston. And you can pick up some legacy gear. Make sure you get yours before the season is over. We'll also have Bama Claus items. Going to make some great Christmas gifts for the ladies in your life. So you may like it too, but definitely some good stuff coming in terms of officially licensed gear. All right. Remember that this is the day that the Lord has made, so let's rejoice and be glad in it. Take some time today to notice someone, love someone, serve someone, be the difference you want to see in the world today. Man, it's been so much noise. If you were an outsider looking in, if you were an alien that dropped in Tuscaloosa or listened to Alabama radio, you would assume that Alabama was 1-5 with no hopes of playing for any of the things that you have played for. X, I'm trying to figure out what's the difference between this team and last year's team. Do you think that Alabama fans, forgot how bad it was last year, how hard it was watching football last year? You think Alabama fans have forgotten how many penalties we were getting, how many sacks we were giving up? Or is the Vandy effect that bad? Is it the simple fact that we lost to Vandy and everybody assumes that Vandy is really bad? When Vandy is ranked, you know what Vandy's FPI is this year, X?
They're the number 35 team in FPI, and I think they're ranked right outside the top 25.
They're number 26
in the AP poll.
I think they're number 26. Now, what does that mean? It just means that it ain't your mom and daddy's Vandy. Should Alabama have lost to Vandy? Absolutely not. But it's not as big an upset as it would have been losing to Vandy in times past. And so that's what I like to remind people of. And this, was Was the Vandy loss any more embarrassing than what Clemson put on us? I mean, at least we were in that game till the end. At least we had a chance to win. I mean, of course, it was a national championship game, and I felt like we looked like we didn't belong. But anyway, I'm having fun this morning, X. I'll toss it back to you, man.
Yeah. Well, so it is, of course, almost 24 hours before kickoff tomorrow. And speaking of everything that you did, we need to take actually look at what you would grade this team. And Chase, I want your opinion on this as well.
Chase, go first. I'd like to hear Chase.
Okay. Chase, how would you grade this 2024 team so far?
Oh, man, you put me on the spot. That's a good question. I would give them a C-.
Boy, you hard, man.
I know, and I like Kalen DeBoer. I used to watch him a lot when I was back on the West Coast. But it's just unusual to see him so flustered. Like, he's not usually like this when his press conferences or how he's able to get his team going. I understand that he's in the SEC. It's not the same as the Pac-12. But my only issue is he knew what he signed up for. Like, Nick Saban understood when he got into the program what was expected of him, no matter if it was – I know they were losing at the time, but he understood, like, this is the SEC regardless. You're supposed to win. And I feel like Kalen DeBoer is kind of like coasting in line a little bit, kind of winning game by game. It's like, okay, well, we done enough. Next game, like, no. Anybody can beat you at any time. This is the new parity of the SEC. And if you're not ready to –
I guess my question is, though, what should he be saying then if you're making this grade that you're sensing that he's flustered? And I haven't. I just think that's his personality. But.
Yeah. That's a good question. I feel like kind of I relate to it because it's like the West Coast, very laid back, kind of like, we'll figure it out, just kind of take time. Like, I'm so used to like SEC head coaches, like, slamming the podium, kind of getting in with the reporters, kind of getting their team like that fiery. And maybe that's just his personality. I have to get used to that. But I think go ahead. I'm sorry.
Do you remember watching Dabo when his team was slowly transitioning to become one of the powerhouses? And everybody used to say all of that. And then when he faced Saban, he beat him once. And everybody forget, what was the last onside kick Alabama got? Against Clemson, right?
Yeah.
And we needed that to win, right? And in the playoffs, they're 2-2. In championships game, Dabo is 2-1. Everybody forgets that. And Dabo could have easily been 3-0. I mean, he could have been 1-2 because, that last one the 1 second play. But I think that's what it is his style. So people are uncomfortable, Chase, with that style at Alabama, and he's choosing you guys. Xavier has children now. Anybody out there having children that had multiple children with different personalities understand that you can't be all things to all people. So you have to decide which one are you going to be consistently, because it's hard to be somebody you're not, Chase, and X. And I think that's his personality. But that doesn't mean he's not strong and not leading and not disciplining the team. I think that's what people are concerned about is, man, he doesn't seem like anything bothers him. Well, people always tell me I'm always smiling. That don't mean I'm always happy. There are times, man, where I want to snatch a knot in people, Chase, but I'm still smiling.
Yeah.
And in intense moments, there's people who've never seen me discipline my children and get upset with my children. X, would that be true?
No.
And that's what I think people are struggling with, Chase. I mean, just giving my thoughts there. But that's what you described to me. Go ahead.
I guess I have a quick question for both of you. I don't want to take much of your time because I want to see you guys' grades as well.
Oh, you're fine.
Thanks.
Yeah, go ahead.
I guess with like Kalen DeBoer and you got his different personality, if he's not kind of turning the page a little bit, I guess like season by season, do you think it's going to cost him and like hurt his chances of keeping his job here at UA? Because I understand like, winning is the standard here. Nothing changes between Saban onto Kalen DeBoer. Like I guess you guys are so used to winning. Do you think it will be a cost now that he's kind of laid back and things aren't changing? If that makes sense.
Hey, I'll let you respond, then I'll respond.
No, I don't. I don't necessarily feel that way. I think people, because of the powers that be, I don't think that'll be the case. I think with Alabama fans, you might get that feel, but not with like the AD and stuff. Not with Burns.
I would love to know what Greg Burns' thoughts are right now about this season. I would love to know. I would just like to know what Bama fans expected. It's almost like we have revisionist history. Chase, you weren't here during the highest times of the Bama era under Saban. Everybody forgets. How many championships do we have in the last 6 years?
1.
Let that sink in. We've had 1 championship in the last 7 years. If we don't win it this year. And 6 of those go to Saban. And the one that we had was COVID. Okay. Don't get me wrong. It was a great team but it was chaotic and,
that team was good enough to win it in a regular.
I think they would have won it anyway. But my point is that COVID year, other than that, the last 6 years, Chase, we don't look a lot different. We've complained about the same thing. It's so weird how people are putting more pressure on the board because he came in now that the season has started. And I've heard people say things, Chase, like, he had so much more talent than Saban did when he had. Well, he doesn't have more talent than Saban had the last 6 years. And Saban has lost 1 game every year, except for 1. And ended the season with more than 1 loss. We don't know what this season is going to be. Right now, we're making a end of the year verdict because we lost to Vanderbilt. The reality of it is, you always have games that you win, like South Carolina. I don't know of a championship team that didn't have games like that. Pat brought up our 92 team. You look at Alabama's first national title over and over and over. It's so weird how we're giving him a final grade instead of a midpoint grade. You see what I'm saying? Like the reality of it is, grade the team. They're 5-1. They found a way. Would you rather, I should have did that on Wednesday, X. Would you rather have beaten Georgia or lost to Vanderbilt or vice versa? And I'm telling you, as a football player and a coach, I would hate to have lost to Vanderbilt. It would be embarrassing. But in my psyche, in my coaching psyche, in my player's psyche, I would know, man, we can be dominant. We can be good. And that's what this team is right now. The question is, which one will they be tomorrow? Which one will they be week 9, 10, 11, 12? If the Georgia team shows up, staff, players show up, this team is going to do something special. If the Vanderbilt team shows up, all bets are off. And we've had 2 games where the Vanderbilt showed up, and we've had 1 game. Well, actually, we don't give any credit for how we dominated Wisconsin anymore. So I guess that doesn't count that we beat Wisconsin the way we did. I mean, so yeah, it's a free-for-all Friday. Powered by powered by the pharmacy at Midtown, Pharmacy Midtown. Go check them out. TJ and his staff do an awesome job. They can help you with Medicare, open enrollment, pet care, even pet care, transfer of prescriptions, refill your existing prescriptions. They have all types of services outside of just traditional prescription, compounding, medicine made with you in mind. You can get free delivery. Let them bring the medicine to you. Immunization, offering a variety of vaccines to keep you healthy. New patients accepted at all times. 205-579-9933 or visit pharmacymidtown.com.
Tide 100.9 traffic.
Tuscaloosa traffic now from the Townsend Nissan Traffic Center. A very good morning to you and TGIF. We're moving with a purpose on the freeways and side streets right now. We're looking at only minimal delays if you're traveling on Skyland Boulevard, both the east and westbound lanes between 2059 and 359. Not seeing a whole lot of activity, but you do have some taps on the brakes from time to time. With your Tuscaloosa traffic now, I'm Tammy Thomas.
This report is sponsored by Positive Coaching Alliance.
It's the year-end clearance sale at Townsend Nissan going on now. You can save thousands. See BJ or Kylan today at Townsend Nissan, your savings place. Don't miss the Tide postgame show on 95.3 The Bear and Tide 100.9 WTBC 1230 with Wyatt Fulton and Matt Coulter, presented by BMW of Tuscaloosa, Pearl River Resort and Casino, Tuscaloosa Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, and Walk-Ons.
Got issues with youth or high school sports? Positive Coaching Alliance can help. PCA, a national nonprofit, offers more than 1,000 free online resources for youth and high school sports coaches, parents, students, and administrators. Visit PCADevZone.org.
BMW of Tuscaloosa has it all. Ready to upgrade your drive? Enjoy special interest rates as low as 1.9%. Plus, don't miss out on incredible rebates on new BMWs. Get $5,000 off our new 2024 X3 and 2 Series inventory. October is the month of BMW, and BMW of Tuscaloosa is the place to be. Visit us now to save big and discover why so many are switching to BMW. BMW of Tuscaloosa. Take your dreams for a drive.
Got timberland in West Alabama or East Mississippi? North River Timber Company has you covered. Since 2011, Courtney White, a registered forester, along with his expert team, have been managing timberland and harvesting timber across 4 West Alabama counties. They offer comprehensive timber management plans, reforestation services, and appraisals. Courtney White says timber is like money in the bank. Don't let your investment go unrealized. Call North River Timber Company today. Email them at northrivertimberco@gmail.com or call 205-242-5127.
Did you know that 90% of the lawyers you see or hear advertised aren't even in Alabama? Just think about that. I used this guy, Stephen Mesrano, twice because he did what no other lawyers could do. He won for me, and he can win for you. Mez wins.
Thanks, guys. I'm attorney Stephen Mesrano, and I win. Call me, 205-800-8000, and let me fight for you. And when you call, you'll actually talk to me. 205-800-8000. I've got this.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
Hey, I'm Martin Houston, and I want to tell you about exciting news happening at Box Eye Care. They've moved to their new location, bringing you a brand new lab, stylish new frames, and a fresh look just for you. Enjoy their expanded frame inventory, competitive prices, and faster service, all with the same great level of service you've come to know and trust. Discover this full-service eye care at Box Eye Care's new location. With their in-house lab, they offer unbeatable value and one of the largest frame collections in town. Schedule your eye exam today and walk out with new glasses in less than an hour in most cases. Visit boxeyecare.com. That's boxeyecare.com or call 205-342-0660. That's 205-342-0660. Visit them at 5003 Oscar Baxter Drive. That's Box Eye Care. Your vision, our priority.
The sound of Bama sports. Your show, your team. The Martin Houston Show on your home for Alabama sports. Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
Once again, don't forget to get your scores in. Post it on social media or call us at 205-342-9904. The Empowerment Strategy Solutions Hotline is open for business. Tiebreaker is Alabama's total yards. Bam Bam 72 winning last week. He's our first repeat winner. So congratulations, Bam Bam. And he said, I have never picked against the Tide and not going to start now. I'm going 34-28. Bama total yards 335. So thanks, Bam Bam. And also, hey guys, don't forget, check out the Martin Houston officially licensed legacy collection with Athletes Thread. You can go to athletesthread.com/collections/Martin-Houston. Lots of different items to choose from. Get your gear today. All right. X, I'll toss it back to you, man.
Yeah, so as we're continuing the conversation from the first quarter, we have grades. What would your grade for this team be?
My grade for this team is probably a B+ because the reality of it is before Saban ever retired, I said if we are able to, looking forward, what would have been a great transition. I would always say, be relevant, not necessarily wins, because you don't never know what the record's going to take. But at that time, it was going to take a 1-2 loss team, to stay relevant in the college football conversation. That's what I wanted to do, to be. And I think that we have done that. We're still relevant. We're 5-1. In terms of the Crimson Tide, and every goal is still in front of us. The ultimate goal is to get to the playoffs based on the way the schedules are set up and things like that. We may win out. We may end up 11-1. This is what people don't understand. We may end the regular season at 11-1 and not make it to the SEC championship game because Texas could win this week, win out, lose to Texas A&M or Texas A&M. Both of the Texas teams could technically end up one undefeated and one with one loss, and that would be against each other. That's a very good possibility. So they would therefore represent the SEC and SEC championship game. So I'm giving this team a B+. And let me tell you why I'm not giving them an A. Because the inconsistency of the coaches and the inconsistency of the players. But X, I don't see a lot of difference in the discipline of this team. Everybody talking about, oh my God, they've lost their discipline. This team was one of the most penalized teams last year. The offensive line gave up more sacks than everybody except for two teams, I think, last year. We were frustrated. We forget how Tennessee came into our house last year and was spanking our butts, and we made adjustments at halftime. This team and coaching staff needs to figure out how to adjust at halftime and do a little better and situational. And let me see, X. Let me see what all we have. And Quentin Perry, said it best. He said, we have been spoiled, but the defense wasn't really good last year as well. I think we could do better. I appreciate what he has done. I enjoy the show. Here's the point. We act like Pete Golding was killing it. Okay. We act like, we act like Kevin Steele was killing it. Last year, Saban said he had to spend so much time focusing on the defense that he forgot about the offense. We forget that we had Bryce Young and Will Anderson, two of the best players, the highest drafted players in Alabama history, respectively, first time at quarter. And we did not make it to the championship. We didn't make it to the championship. We forget that. It's so funny to me. Don't get me wrong. I think we have the talent and the ability to be an A+ team. Right now we're B+. But B+ gets us to the playoffs right now. Right. Can we get better? Absolutely. So, give your grade and then we'll do some rapid fire on the calls.
Yeah, I'd give it a B+. I feel the same way with this team when it comes to the potential is there to be an A+, but they just haven't been consistent enough. And when you haven't been consistent, that hurts you. And that's what Alabama has had happen the last couple of weeks, the consistency. And if Alabama gets...
What leads to inconsistency? Is it talent or is it inexperienced talent?
Inexperienced talent.
Inexperienced talent, because that's what everybody says, how talented this team. Everybody, they should, if you're going to talk about the talent, that you should also, in the same voice, say, ooh, Saban did a poor job of getting the backups ready, and all of the other backups that he had that we thought would be starting all transferred. Why did all those guys transfer? Why did guys who had been here for 2 years and 3 years transfer? Was it just money? Maybe. So what was the board supposed to do? Just give, what is it, Little? Is Little starting for Florida State?
Nope.
What about Amos?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I'm just trying to figure out. Just I mean, is Bond starting for Texas?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. But is not Black starting?
No.
Okay. So either, but those guys were talented, Xavier. Those guys were talented. And they've been here 3 years. Why aren't they all starting? Come on,
look
man.
at Florida State. What's their record with all those guys?
What, they got 5 guys there?
Oh, man.
5 or 6. But before we get to break, let's get Chuck Hunt in on the Empowerment Strategy Solution Hotline. How you doing this morning, Chuck? Got to make these rapid fire.
Okay, I'm going to be quick. It's something you all never thought that they'd be talking about Vanderbilt like that. I was thinking about my first cousin. He's a graduate of Louisiana Tech. His wife is a graduate of Vanderbilt. They live in now SEC City, Austin, Texas, and their son is a sophomore at the University of Texas. I know she's enjoying it right now because they don't get that each day at Vanderbilt, and it's not that kind of school. And they had the baseball national championships. But I think you guys are going to come out victorious tomorrow. And I think they're saying in their minds, they're saying, look, we can't lose to another Tennessee, and this is that team that you're playing tomorrow. I found out how fierce that rivalry is. They say can't lose to them, and after losing to Vanderbilt. And I'm gonna land on this one, and that's something you talk about Vanderbilt with I wonder some of the younger Alabama people don't know about the connection there. You talk about Bear Bryant. That's where he got his start. He was an assistant coach at Vanderbilt back in the 40s. I'm gonna land on that one.
Thanks, Chuck. Yeah. And we can't afford to lose. That's right. Another game in Tennessee.
No, we cannot. We've got J-Rob joining us. How you doing this morning, J-Rob?
Happy Friday, guys. I'm going to make this quick. I know you got to get the break, but, man, I sure am glad Chase is not my instructor, man. He's tough. He's tough with the grades, isn't he? Good Lord.
I'm learning.
He's tough. But I'm going to be a little bit tougher than Martin. I'm going to give us a B-. I think that, we just can't lose to Vanderbilt. That's just
okay. Let me ask you this, J-Rob, real quick. Are you looking at Vanderbilt this year? Forget Vanderbilt's played football for the last 120 years. Look at what Vanderbilt brought in and what Alabama. If these two programs were starting with the rosters they have, would you make that statement? With the roster and the coaches and the system? Because Alabama had to add an offensive system, a defensive system, new special teams, new coaches, and all of that. Added a new offensive coach, but he brought the system and quarterback with him.
I'm looking at Vanderbilt historically. It's just everybody in America is looking at it like I am, and I think they'll look at that at the end. And now Vanderbilt keeps winning, that'll be a better loss. Tomorrow, I think it's going to be a season-defining game. I think that we need to go up there and take care of business. If we lose that game tomorrow, we drop it. I don't think we're going to get in the playoffs. If we do get in the playoffs, it'll be a one and done. But I hope you guys have a great weekend. I'm looking forward to tomorrow. Tomorrow is a college football fan's dream. all the good games coming on starting 11 o'clock, the Booger Eaters. Then we play, and then we got the Georgia Texas game. It's going to be an awesome day. Y'all have a great weekend, and Roll Tide.
Roll Tide. Chase, you know who the Booger Eaters are?
Would that be Auburn?
All right. We'll be back on the other side.
Tide 100.9. Tuscaloosa traffic now from the Townsend Nissan Traffic Center. A very good morning to you and TGIF. We're moving with a purpose on the freeways and side streets right now. We're looking at only minimal delays if you're traveling on Skyland Boulevard, both the east and westbound lanes between 2059 and 359. Not seeing a whole lot of activity, but you do have some taps on the brakes from time to time. With your Tuscaloosa traffic now, I'm Tammy Thomas.
Join Tide 100.9 this Friday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. for Fridays at the Free. Come see Wyatt Fulton broadcasting live at Insfree Irish Pub and enjoy some great pub food with that Irish flair, including that signature Irish gold sauce. Come have Insfree's Lucky Lunch, a delicious meat and 3, and let Tide 100.9 get you ready for the Bama game this weekend. Fridays at the Free, every Friday during football season with Tide 100.9 and Insfree Irish Pub, located at 1925 University Boulevard, downtown.
Hey Bama fans, this is quarterback Jalen Milroe for my friends at Tuscaloosa Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram. Before you shop anywhere else for a Dodge Ram truck, a Jeep, a Dodge Challenger, or a Dodge Charger, shop local. An amazing selection of new and pre-owned vehicles are on the lot now. Go see for yourself at 550 Skyland Boulevard East in Tuscaloosa. Or you can shop online at TuscaloosaCDJR.com. At Tuscaloosa Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram, you pick it out and we'll work it out. Roll Tide.
Dixie Battery Supply takes care of all of your battery needs. Find the commercial batteries you're after and never feel powerless again. Come check out our Northport and Tuscaloosa locations or call us at 205-758-9190. And once again, power up all your devices by using Dixie Battery Supply, DixieBatterySupply.com. They offer reconditioned batteries starting at $39.99, and you'll find all the batteries you need. And don't forget to ask us about our golf carts. That's DixieBatterySupply.com.
Get ready for an evening of nonstop laughter for a great cause. It's the Breast Cancer Comedy Show, October 19th, hosted by Town Square Media's own Comedian LP, featuring comedians Mika Carey, Country Fields, and Sean Krosky. It's all going down at Shindig's Family Entertainment Center in the banquet hall at 7 o'clock. Admission is completely free and donations are appreciated. So tell all your people to come out, laugh, and support a great cause against breast cancer, October 19th at 7 o'clock at the Shindig Family Entertainment Center. For more info, tap that free app.
I'm so excited to have recently launched the Empowerment Strategies and Solutions Organization. We speak, we train, we coach. As a John Maxwell certified coach and team member, I would love the opportunity to work with you and your organization to build corporate culture, build a championship team, or coach you one-on-one as a C-suite or emerging leader. As a DISC certified consultant, I can help you be the best version of yourself. To work with me, go to martinhouston.org/book me. That's martinhouston.org/book me. That's Empowerment Strategies and Solutions. We speak, we train, we coach. Don't forget to mark your calendar for December 3rd for the Live to Lead conference featuring John Maxwell, John Gordon, Malcolm Gladwell, and more. Join us at the Bryant Conference Center. It's a half-day simulcast event presented by Empowerment Strategies and Solutions. Purchase individual tickets for $70 and a table of 8 for $400. Visit martinhouston.org and click the Live to Lead tab and follow the instructions. Once again, to register, visit martinhouston.org, Live to Lead tab, and click register.
Tide 100.9 Tuscaloosa weather.
The long dry spell continues through next week. A sunny sky today, the high 71. Clear tonight, not as cold as recent nights, the low 45. Tomorrow and Sunday, the sky's sunny both days, highs between 74 and 77. I'm James Spann on the ABC 3340 Weather Center on Tide 100.9. It's 39 degrees in Tuscaloosa.
Interact with the Martin Houston Show by calling us at 205-342-9904 or tuning into the Martin Houston Show on Facebook.
Welcome back into the Martin Houston Show with Martin and Xavier. We're live, local, and ready to get things going right here. We're powered by Box Eye Care, and today is the Pharmacy at Midtown Free for All Friday, so we have all types of comments coming in. CJ Watson said Vandy is 2 plays from being 6-0. Wow, Give them some respect, Bama fans. Vandy is arguably the second best team we face this year. It's because they're good. Stop looking at the helmet. And Blind Squirrel, he's on here somewhere. And so I think people are looking for you to respond and comment on Georgia versus Texas. We love to hear from you. You can call in on the Empowerment Strategies and Solutions hotline. We speak, we coach, we train. Give us a call and we'll work you in. And speak of working in, Pat, you're in with Martin and Xavier. What's on your mind?
First off, Georgia beats Texas like a stepchild this weekend. And my hats off, let's say hats off to Mr. Derrick Henry. What a performance. You know, the young man that was too big to play running back in college there. He now has 20 games with over 100 yards and and 2 touchdowns or more in each game. That puts him in very rare air with Mr. Emmitt Smith, does it not?
Yeah, real quick on Derrick, he went over the 10,100. He's one of a handful of guys to ever do that. 10,000 total yards, 100 total touchdowns, Pat. And Pat, I don't know if you saw the game. He missed, I think it was by 1 yard or 2 yards, from becoming an all-time leader with the most 200 yards in a game. And the reason I point that out is he's living and doing this in an era where the running back doesn't do that. If Derrick Henry was coming along back in those days, back in the other days, Pat, he would have shattered the record if he was playing back in the day when the running backs really.
I mean, it's just amazing that people like that OJ, and Sweetness, Walter Payton, that they didn't do that kind of thing. I mean, what Derrick Henry's done is his work ethic is so incredible that people, young kids across the United States should take. I mean, and it's just amazing. And hey, I've got you know who Lynn Anderson is? Probably the most famous person to ever sing Rocky Top. Hey, she's not a fat lady, but she's tuning up, Martin Hickston. And she's tuning up, and she's in heaven now, but she's tuning up. She's going to be singing Rocky Top when this game is over with. And I hate to say it, but hey, but the season's not over with. I've got us being 10-2, sitting at home watching the SEC championship and hosting a game, and then going on and whoever said that we're going to be one and done, that's bull. Because we're going to host a game, we're going to win that one for sure, and I don't know how many more. But
if we win Saturday, Pat, and got to let you go after this. If you give me your score, Pat.
Oh, my score, Tennessee 35, Alabama 28.
If we beat Tennessee Saturday, Pat, what's the total yards? I'm sorry.
Oh, total yards for Alabama about 340.
Pat, if we beat Tennessee, who's going to beat us? Missouri, LSU, Mercer, Oklahoma, or Auburn?
Nobody beats us the rest of the year. We're going to lose to Tennessee, though.
But you just picked Alabama 35-28.
No, I didn't. I picked Tennessee 35.
Okay, Pat. So you say some crazy things, Pat. I totally missed that. I can't believe you picked Tennessee. I'm disappointed, Pat.
I can't. I understand everybody's disappointed in me, but I'm using reverse psychology. My picks have been so horrible that I'm bound to get better.
All right, man.
Well, let's hope they don't get better tomorrow.
Yeah. Let's hope your craziness is wrong this time. Thanks, Pat. Let's get to Robert. Robert, you're in with Martin and Xavier. What's on your mind?
Hey, guys. Hey, Xavier, you know what Martin's problem is? he sees us all irrational one and gets Kalen DeBoer, and he just insists on bringing things back into perspective and making us see reality and the truth. We're all off on a rational rant. You just want to let us stay there, no matter how irrational and crazy we are. I bet you when you asked why is the sky blue when you were a kid, he wouldn't give you a colorful answer. He'd tell you the truth. Because the blue scatters through the Earth's atmosphere more than any other color does.
That's right. That's true. Oh man! Hey, Robert. We just. I think we. I mean, I get it. Don't get me wrong, man. I was so tore up. I want everybody to know, I'm not blind. Okay, I was as tore up as anybody the last 2 weeks. I mean, in the heat of the moment, I'm like, come on, what in the world is wrong with you guys? And then after I sit down and go, okay, let's look at this. If you take away the transfer portal and just give Alabama the talent that they recruited, Alabama's killing people. But what nobody is factoring in, everybody's going, man, Alabama has the most talented roster. And they do, based on numbers. But how many of those guys, Robert, are playing? How many of those guys have playing experience versus looking at the other teams that's coming in here? What was the kid's name? Bernard from Georgia Tech? I don't know what his star was, right? But he's a 5-star if you were to re-rank him today. If you rank him on who's performing today, the Pavia kid was a no-star. Well, he'd probably be a 3-4-star now, right?
Yeah, there should be something to that, re-ranking people after they actually play. So you really know what they really were?
We were told we were the worst class to ever – listen to this. The 1988 freshman class, we were told we are the worst class. At that time, we were the worst class that Alabama had ever signed.
Wow.
And we went on to win the only national title in a 30-year window. So were we talented or were we lucky or what happened? We developed.
Right.
And other teams didn't. And that's what Alabama Robert, what did I know I'm gonna be quiet. I told this David I was gonna be quiet. Listen, I have to ask you this question. Robert, what has been one of your biggest complaints about Nick Saban's teams the last few years? Remember I used to do the KPIs, recruiting, coaching, development. Where would you rank development over the last 4 years since 2020 under Nick Saban?
Yeah, it did seem to take a bit of a dip there. It's kind of like the teams seem like they were underachieving there for a while in the last few years after the 20. It's like we peaked in 2020, and then the trend has been a decline after that. And football has changed. I know Ryan Pollack seems to keep bringing this up. This is the new college football. And he's right. It is. It's looking more like the NFL. And again, us, because we were the rich folks, the 1%, we were fine with the old system. And we couldn't understand why the have-nots didn't like it. And now that things are kind of evening out, it's like, we don't like this system. Vanderbilt looking, hey, what's wrong with it? So, it's not bad. It's just different. It's new. And we're going to have to make the adjustments to it. There's no question about that. Hey, real quick, you remember back then when Alabama was the rich, how all these folks were saying that they ain't fair, Alabama play Tennessee all the time. They need to change in the SEC. They need to break that up. And then you and others with your rational thinking would come back and say, hey, if you think it's going to stay this way forever, you're wrong. One of these days, Tennessee is going to come back. And, well, here we are. They're back.
Hey, Robert, let me ask you a quick question, and we can get your score. X, I'd like to get your thoughts on this, too. We made the assumption if Saban was coaching this team that it would be better. Would Ryan Williams be Ryan Williams, the 17-year-old phenom under Saban? And would Jalen Milroe have progressed?
That's a great question.
See, everybody assumes that, that just because Saban, what is Ryan Williams the phenom he is because of the coach we have on the sideline?
Saban wouldn't have allowed him to start because he would have, he would have basically let him get in the game. Yeah. I'm not as early as he did, though, out of loyalty to the guys who's been there the longest. So it would have taken, all the ones he had, the phenoms he had that were freshmen, it took him some time to get into those games before, so probably not out the gate. No, I don't think so.
All right. So is Jalen Milroe better than last year?
Oh, yeah, he's better than last year. I think he would have been about the same.
Better than last year.
Well, that one last year so bad. So I just the center, though. The center really killed him.
No, this offensive line was a lot better than last year.
Yeah. Yeah, last year so bad.
Only place that we're significantly worse in some people's mind is the defense. But are we significantly worse considering the fact this is a new system?
Nope.
I mean, that's why I want people to think if last year's coaching staff had this team, where would we be? I don't know, but I don't think we'd be any better than 5-1.
And there you go with that perspective again. Hey, I had us winning, simply because I'm like, that's correct. If we keep saying they're going to lose 2, everybody was saying that, and now when it comes to actually picking the 2, nobody wants to have the guts to actually pick them. And I'm just saying, boy, I had the guts to actually pick them. So I'm going to pick the 2 losses. So I'm going to say, I can't remember, I think it was Ryan 33-27, something like that. I'm going 33-27, Alabama.
33-27?
Yeah.
Total yards.
A lot of field goals. For running, what was the total yard for?
Alabama.
Oh, the T? I'm going to go 478.
All right. Thanks, Robert. Appreciate it. All right. We'll be back on the other side to put your finishing touch on this edition of the Martin Houston Show with Martin and Xavier, powered by Box Eye Care on this free-for-all Friday, powered by the pharmacy at Midtown.
On the next Inside the Locker Room with Coach Wimp Sanderson and Barry Sanderson.
Tune in Friday, 7:30. Associate Commissioner Garth Glissman will join us. We'll talk to Garth about SEC football and basketball. Also in the second hour, Coach Sonny Smith will join us. We'll also take your phone calls throughout the show and get you ready for Alabama and Tennessee, brought to you by Yellowwood. If it doesn't have that yellow tag on it, you don't want it.
Inside the Locker Room, weekdays 7 to 9 a.m. on Tide 100.9 and Tide100.9.com.
Tide 100.9 traffic.
Tuscaloosa traffic now from the Townsend Nissan Traffic Center, moving right along. Wide open territory for you for the most part. Now, volume hadn't really started to pick up yet for your rush to work. So if you're traveling around, it is nice. You just have to maneuver around the construction zone, so be careful there. McFarland, both east and westbound between Jack Warner Parkway and Lurleen Wallace. That's long term with cones down and detours in place with your Tuscaloosa traffic now. I'm Tammy Thomas.
This report is sponsored by Unbound.org. Right now, there are young people across the world facing a tough choice. Continue their dream of education or drop out to help their family put food on the table. You can help change their future in a single moment. See how far your support can go at Unbound.org.
Join Brett Jones on Tide 100.9 WTBC 1230 each Tuesday night live from Walk On Sports Bistro for Hillcrest Huddle. That's Brett Jones each week as the Hillcrest Patriots march towards the playoffs.
Hi, this is Gene Poole.
And this is John Poole.
At Hudson Poole Fine Jewelers, being locally owned means more than just business.
It means cherishing the relationships we've built and the trust you place in us.
We consider it a privilege to be a part of your life's significant occasions, and thank you for the opportunity.
to help you select that perfect piece for your engagement, anniversary, or birthday.
Come experience the difference of shopping local. Visit Hudson Pool Fine Jewelers, downtown Tuscaloosa, or at hudsonpool.com.
Houston Hydrosteam. That's Houston Hydrosteam. Quality work you can stand on. Whether you're looking for carpet and upholstery cleaning, oriental rug cleaning, residential or commercial water damage, and a whole lot more, you need to call Houston Hydrosteam at 205-553-9460, 553-9460, or visit them online at HoustonHydrosteam.com. And once again, Houston Hydrosteam is quality work you can stand on.
The best secret in town is Finney's Pub at the Venue. Everyone is raving about the soon-to-be famous Venue Smash Burger. But it doesn't stop there. Finney's Fish and Chips, prime rib French dip, filet mignon on the weekends, and that huge salad with grilled chicken are all the talk. With the new sit-down service, you can enjoy the special atmosphere at Finney's Pub inside or on the patio 7 days a week. Located across from Sokol Park, the Venue houses Finney's Pub, the second location of Rammer Jammers, and Liza's Sweet Shop. Visit VenueTuscaloosa.com to learn more.
Visit the pharmacy at Midtown. That's the pharmacy at Midtown.com. TJ and his team are looking for the opportunity to provide you with great services, including compounding, home delivery, and a whole lot more. You're looking for a great pharmacy that'll take care of all of your needs, including wellness classes, including health and more. That's the pharmacy at Midtown. Call them at 205-579-9933. If you're looking for a great pharmacy, you need to try the pharmacy at Midtown. That's the pharmacy at Midtown, pharmacy at Midtown.com.
Keep it locked into Tide 100.9 for more of the Martin Houston Show with Martin Houston and X's and O's Sports, Xavier Houston.
Welcome back into the Martin Houston Show with Martin and Xavier as we get ready to wrap up this fourth quarter and this final edition of the week. Going to talk about Virgil Williams' comments. He says, in my opinion, you cannot go on the star ranking because until they play at the college level, those mean nothing in point. Josh Jacobs was a 3-star, and he goes on to get drafted back in the class where that he was in, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, 25 stars. Look what he's doing in the NFL. What's with the person and how they develop once they get to the college level? They've got work ethic like Derrick Henry makes them great. It doesn't matter what their star is. They become nothing if they don't work. So, yeah. And then you look at it, Virgil's other commissioner. This year's defense has more turnovers than last year's defense did. I think they've also got more busted plays at this point in the year than last year's defense. So I believe the defense is in worse shape, but we have done some things better.
Yeah, and I'm not, and I replied to Virgil, I'm not sure we have more busted coverages. Well, let me see. We have had some guys running open that were missed. So I guess if they were completed passes, and that may be what Virgil's talking about. But part of that completion also has to do with whether or not you generate pressure on wide open guys. Sometimes guys are running wide open, but you pressure the quarterback, so it falls. But I think that last year had a bunch of busted ones. I think we had 3 or 4 in the Texas game alone, where guys were running wide open. So I think the biggest thing for Alabama defensively, X, is the scheme. You know, the scheme is new. And you have all these guys and they're thinking too much. They're not playing and reacting. When this team plays and react, man, when you just turn them loose, they are really good, I think, defensively. And to Virgil's point, we have more turnover. So, X, when you look at the Tennessee, what do you think Tennessee's strengths are and what are we going to have to counteract if we're going to get this victory?
Well, they definitely spread you out, but I think their run game is their strength. And if we're able to slow that down, Nico has shown some weaknesses the last couple games that have been struggles. And I think that's just being a young quarterback. And I think that takes away from what they try to do.
And I would agree with that. Run game is their most consistent part this year, but they'll spread you out. So the question becomes, the 4-2-5 was built for this style of offense. So we'll see if we're able to do it. Then you look at that and say, okay, if they don't, make a bunch of busted coverages, we'll be okay. But I think we have to pressure him, whether it's through twist, stunts, or blitzes. We just can't let him sit back there, or he will eat us alive. And, it seems to be a tradition that people have their best games against Alabama. If Nico does that, then Tennessee gets to win. But I don't know if he would that will or not.
Yeah, and also I think when you look at the injury report, Bama's got some guys back on the offensive side of the ball this week. Kendrick Law, Kobe Prentice no longer on that. So that's a couple missing pieces that we've had for essentially 2 games. And you have Sabb and Damani Jackson on there, but they're both listed as probable. So I think we'll see both of them make impacts as well still Saturday in the passing game.
Yeah, and once again, we forget about Law. Put Law in the Vanderbilt game, and there may be a couple of long runs and other things that happen, and the same thing in the South Carolina game. I know we're looking for him to be a great receiver, but he is mission critical to our run game, our modern run game through the quarterback. So I think it's a good chance that you see some more explosive run plays, X.
Yeah. So what are your overall thoughts on the game as far as what Alabama has to do to get the win?
I think Bama has to go out and play well on defense. I just think that the key to this game is I think Alabama's offense and Tennessee's defense is going to have that battle, tug of war. I think whichever defense steps up, whether Tennessee's defense steps up or Alabama's offense steps up, is going to determine the winner. I have Alabama offense, a get-right game. I think that Alabama gets 38 points. We're going to see if we got a field goal kicker. 38 points. Tennessee gets 24. So I got Bama 38, Tennessee 24 with 425 yards.
I have 34-21 Bama. Couple field goals as stated, and I think total yards Bama gets 402.
People would think that you and I pick and talk about these things because we're literally the exact same difference in the points in margin of victory. Hey, listen, we'll be back on Monday with Kenneth Smith III. We hope that you have a great third Saturday in October. It'll be even better if Bama is able to get the win. We'll be back to break it down on Monday. Roll Tide, go up and beat the Vols, and we'll be back on Monday to talk about it. Remember this, trust in the Lord always, lean not your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will direct your path. Roll Tide out there, everybody.